This is Let's Talk Chattanooga Real Estate, the podcast where we cover home buying, home selling, home improvement tips and ideas, market trends and developments, and investing in real estate. If you own real estate in the Chattanooga, Tennessee area, or want to own real estate here, then you're in the right place. Let's Talk Chattanooga Real Estate is hosted by Blake Watson, a real estate agent and investor in Tennessee and Georgia.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Chattanooga Real Estate. I'm your host, Blake Watson. I am a realtor in Tennessee and Georgia with Epique Realty. And today, we're diving into Zillow's just released housing market predictions for 2025. Now, we're also going to explore some insights from other experts to paint a fuller picture of what to expect in the year ahead. And whether you're planning to buy, sell, or rent, you'll want to stick around because 2025 promises to be a year of opportunities, but with some challenges to navigate along the way. So let's jump right in. First up, let's talk about housing market activity on a national scale. This data is from the entire United States, not just Chattanooga, so keep that in mind. Zillow predicts that 2025 will be a more active year for real estate. Existing home sales are expected to rise slightly to 4.3 million transactions. That's up from an estimated 4 million in 2024. So that means a 7.5% increase in existing home sales next year. Modest home value growth of about 2.6% is also forecasted on a national scale. Now, what does this mean for buyers? Well, essentially, more inventory could be hitting the market, giving buyers a bit more extra breathing room, giving you a little more opportunity to examine the inventory that's available, and maybe you don't have to move quite as quickly when you make an offer on a house. Now, according to the National Association of Realtors, home sales could rise even further, potentially by 9%. So Zillow predicts this 7.5% increase, but the National Association of Realtors says probably closer to 9% will be the sales for existing homes next year. More options and slower price growth means buyers might be in a better position than they have been these past few years. But keep in mind that affordability challenges will persist. Mortgage rates, and we'll talk about those in just a second, will continue to influence how far your budget can stretch. For sellers, this slower price growth could mean it's critical to price your home competitively to attract attention of potential buyers. Let's talk about mortgage rates, one of the most unpredictable parts of the real estate equation. Zillow notes that rates in 2025 are likely to fall, rise, and fall again, a bit like a roller coaster. That's a pretty accurate description of what I expect will happen in 2025 as well. Now, Housing Wire adds that the 30-year fixed mortgage rates could change between 5.75% and 7.25%. So that's a pretty wide fluctuation from the high fives to the low sevens. We saw this play out in 2024 when rates dipped in September. That briefly improved affordability, and it climbed back up, though, once we got into October and November. Buyers who stayed ready to act during those dips were in good position to take advantage of those deals. So what's the lesson here? Well, if you're thinking about buying in 2025, stay informed and get pre-approved for a mortgage so you're ready to pounce when rates drop. That's worth repeating. If you're thinking about buying in 2025, stay informed and get pre-approved for a mortgage. There's no harm in getting pre-approved. And that way you're ready to pounce when rates drop and you are in a position to buy the house that you're wanting to buy. If you're considering refinancing, well, timing will also be crucial. Keep an eye on market trends and work with your lender to strategize. Now, if you don't know your lender personally or you want to start a new lender relationship, there have been several good lenders who have been guests on this podcast, the Let's Talk Chattanooga Real Estate podcast, on previous episodes. So you can scroll back through past episodes or just reach out to me and I'll pass some contacts along to you. Let's switch gears to talk about buyer preferences in 2025. One of the most interesting trends is the rise of small home living. Not necessarily tiny homes, but smaller homes. And the term cozy appeared in 35% more listings in 2024 compared to 2023. That reflects a growing desire for sustainable, affordable spaces that are smaller. The pandemic era of bigger is better has evidently passed. Many buyers now are prioritizing efficient layouts and purpose-driven spaces over cavernous open floor plans. If you're selling a smaller home, this could be great news for you. Highlighting its charm and energy efficiency in your listing could really appeal to today's buyers. For condo owners, there's even better news. Zillow notes that the value of small condos is stabilizing as downtowns see renewed interest. Now, keep in mind that Zillow is reporting on the national market and downtowns of major markets like New York, Houston, Atlanta, and other cities like that. For Chattanooga, downtown living, even in the small condos, has continued to grow and thrive, especially since the pandemic. More and more condos and townhomes are being built in the downtown area of Chattanooga all the time, especially on the south side. Now, if you're renting, 2025 may bring some changes as well. A multifamily construction boom has kept rents in check and led to more concessions, like free rent or parking. So the multifamily construction boom is really referring to apartment complexes and condos and townhomes as well, but primarily apartments. So an apartment construction boom has definitely been occurring in the entire United States and certainly here in Chattanooga and Northwest Georgia. But that's going to fizzle out. According to Zillow, these perks may fade by the second half of next year as the market absorbs this new supply. So if you're negotiating a lease renewal or looking for a new place, act early in the year to maximize your chances of getting a good deal. For landlords and property managers, one thing is becoming more clear every year. I've watched this trend for well over a decade, but pet friendliness is becoming crucial. You may be surprised to learn that more households have pets than have children under the age of 18. So pet friendliness is king, with 58% of renters now owning pets, up from 46%, that was pre-pandemic. Properties that don't allow pets could struggle to stay competitive. So if you're renting out a property, consider updating your pet policies to attract more tenants. So what's the bottom line for 2025? Well, Zillow's predictions suggest a gradually improving housing market with more opportunities for buyers. But challenges like fluctuating mortgage rates and affordability hurdles will still remain. If you're a buyer, patience and preparation will be your best allies. Sellers focus on competitive pricing and understanding what buyers in your area are looking for. And renters take advantage of early year concessions and pet-friendly policies while they last. So whether you're buying, selling, or renting, staying informed and working with a knowledgeable realtor like me can help you navigate this evolving landscape. And it is always evolving. So that's today's episode of Let's Talk Chattanooga Real Estate. If you have any questions or want to discuss your real estate plans for 2025, well, reach out to me anytime. I'd love to talk to you, and talking about plans for 2025 is definitely what I want to be doing right now. And I would be happy to give you a free copy of my book, The Complete Guide to Buying a Home. You just need to reach out to me and ask for that free copy. I'm Blake Watson, agent with Epique Realty. My mobile phone is 423-315-1815, and my brokerage office phone is 888-893-3537. You can find me on Facebook and LinkedIn as Blake Watson and on Instagram as Rock and Roll Blake. My website is @homechattanooga.com. If this podcast has been helpful, well, please share this podcast with a friend and follow this podcast so you won't miss an episode. And until next time, I wish you all the best in your real estate journey.